Welcome to the HFY Vault channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care. The hangar was silent, except for the occasional hum of machinery and the faint hiss of steam from a nearby coolant pipe. Captain Jace Barron stepped carefully over scattered tools and scraps of metal. He had been sent to the remote asteroid station Krell 9 to retrieve a damaged scout ship, nothing more. Simple. Routine. But deep inside, he felt the unease of being watched. At the far end of the hangar, a figure crouched beside the ship's engine, her hands moving with astonishing speed. She was short, wiry, with pale green skin and large, black eyes that reflected the dim lights above. Her jumpsuit was patched and worn, as if it had seen decades of work, and her fingers moved over the circuits with a grace that was almost alien. She should be human, Jace muttered under his breath. The mechanic didn't look up. You're here for the scout, right? Her voice was calm, almost musical. Jace nodded. Yeah. Just needed fixed enough to get it spaceworthy. How long? Couple of hours. Maybe less. She flashed a small, confident smile and returned to her work. Jace watched her, trying to suppress the odd sensation creeping over him. There was something unusual, something more. But what could a simple alien mechanic hide? He had seen plenty of aliens in his travels, but few were so quietly skilled. As the minutes dragged, he wandered closer to observe. The ship's engine hissed, sparks flew, and the mechanic's hands danced over the exposed panels. Then, without warning, she straightened and zipped up the front of her jumpsuit. It was the smallest movement, almost casual, but the air around her seemed to change. Jace blinked. The jumpsuit's zipper wasn't just clothing, it was a barrier hiding something extraordinary. Whoa, he whispered, stepping back. His eyes widened as a faint blue glow seeped from beneath the unzipped section. Lines of shimmering circuitry traced across her skin, pulsing with light like a living constellation. The mechanic looked at him, her black eyes calm, unafraid. Impressive, isn't it? What are you? Jace stammered. I'm not just a mechanic, she said simply. I'm an Etherian engineer, one of the last of my kind. This suit? It hides my true form from, well, everyone else. Jace's mind raced. Etherians were legendary myths in most galactic records. Intelligent, ancient, capable of constructing starships with a thought and repairing them faster than any human could imagine. And here she was, fixing a scout ship in a dusty asteroid hangar. Why hide? He asked cautiously. She smiled softly, almost sadly. Because most humans, especially military types, aren't ready for what we are. The galaxy has limits, Jace. I have to work quietly to survive. Despite his fear, Jace couldn't look away. He felt a strange pull, a fascination he had never experienced. She worked on the ship as if it were an extension of her own body, sparks flying, engines humming, energy flowing in ways he couldn't comprehend. Okay, he finally said, trying to regain some control. I need this ship in orbit in 2 hours. Can you do it? I'll make it ready in half that time, she replied, her fingers already flying over circuits again. Time seemed to stretch. Jace hovered nearby, learning small fragments of her work. She wasn't just skilled, she was genius. The ship's systems hummed back to life under her hands. Life support restored, engines primed, shields reactivated. Then a sudden alert blared from the ship's console. Jace jumped back, but she remained calm, almost enjoying the challenge. Pirate drones, she said, eyes scanning the radar. They're near the outer belt. If we leave now, we can evade them. Jace felt his pulse quicken. He hadn't expected danger. But with her? He felt a sudden surge of hope. She was more than a mechanic, she was a savior. The next moments were a blur. She guided him through the launch sequence, her hands moving over the panels with supernatural precision. The scout ship roared to life, engines glowing, lifting off the asteroid like it weighed nothing. Outside, the pirate drones appeared, small black silhouettes against the asteroid belt. Jace gripped the controls, but she remained calm, guiding him through evasive maneuvers, each move precise, almost effortless. Trust me, she said, a faint smile on her lips. And he did. Minutes later, the drones were far behind. Jace exhaled, the adrenaline fading, leaving him breathless in awe. How did you do that? She laughed softly, a sound like wind through crystal. Years of experience. And a little Etherian enhancement. He stared at her again. She looked like a simple mechanic, but she was something far more ancient, powerful, and compassionate. And now, he realized, she had saved his life. You're extraordinary, he said quietly. And you, she replied, her eyes twinkling, are exactly the kind of human who can appreciate it. Jace knew then that this mission was more than retrieval. It was a discovery. A reminder that in the vast galaxy, humans were still learning, and that some secrets were worth keeping, yet even more worth sharing. As the scout ship disappeared into the starry expanse, Jace glanced at her one last time. The glow beneath her jumpsuit had faded, replaced by the worn, simple exterior of a mechanic. But he would never forget what he had seen, the truth hidden behind a zipper, and the reminder that the universe was far bigger, stranger, and more beautiful than he had ever imagined.